Just a couple days ago, Nissan is reportedly building trucks in the future for Honda. Now, it's still kind of a pipe dream, but it could work out. But the news I have for you today is far more likely to happen. Because of tariffs, Nissan is bringing trucks back to America on a scale we probably haven't seen maybe ever. And if you are excited for this, smash the heck out of the like button. If you want that Xterra back, if you want the Armada to be built in bigger numbers here stateside, if you want more body on frame SUVs and trucks from Nissan built here in America, smash that like button. This is extremely exciting news. So grab your snacks and drinks, buckle in, and let's get into it. So it was just a few years ago when Nissan announced that their plant in Canton, Mississippi, where they build the Frontier, and they were at the time still building the Titan, they build the Ultima there. They said that they're going to dump $500 million into this truck plant that also builds the Ultima to build EVs. Well, they just delayed those EVs until like 28, 29. I mean, when they're pushed back that far, who knows if and when they would ever come from that plant. Nissan is switching from Plan A, which was those EVs, to Plan B, which is the complete opposite. But Americans want more body on frame vehicles than they want EVs seemingly right now. And Nissan's going to double down on what they do best, arguably, and what they do best is trucks. Nissan is developing a comprehensive body-on-frame product strategy for the plant. And Automotive News is getting this news, or this from a very reliable scoop from someone with inside of the plant, more than likely. All right. The plan involves bringing production of the flagship Japanese SUVs to America once again. If we go back to the first gen Armada, the Patrol, of course, preceded it. If we go back to the first gen Armada, though, guys, this was produced in the Canton, Mississippi plant until 2015. Then we go to the second gen Armada and the QX80. This was built no longer in the United States. They shipped this production to Japan. And this thing does feel very quality. It feels like it's built from granite. And I know you guys might have some concerns of the Patrol / Armada being built in the United States, and it might not have the same quality as one built in Japan. I understand that. The things to be excited about with this announcement overshadow any potential drops in quality, I would say. All right, and the current generation Armada, of course, still built in Japan at the Kyushu plant. And I believe the Kyushu plants also they're going to build the new Leaf. And the Leaf was also used to be produced here stateside in Smyrna, Tennessee with the first two generations. Okay, this plan wants to bring the QX80 and the Armada to Canton, Mississippi, but it's not going to stop there. That's just the beginning. Then you have a pair of new pickup-based utilities, okay, meaning body-on-frame SUVs, a pair, all right? So you're going to have two body-on-frame SUVs that seemingly share what they say it's going to be built alongside, assembled alongside of the Frontier. This would be what we would expect the Xterra to be. So you have the flagship, super big SUVs, the Armada QX80, and then you're going to have an Xterra and an Infinity Xterra variant as well. And if Honda dips in on this, you would have a third variant. And you might be saying, Kirk, that's nuts. It's not nuts. Look at General Motors. They have Chevy, GMC, and Cadillac versions of the Tahoe. It allows them to reduce costs. Honda absolutely needs to get in on this to accelerate this body-on-frame revisioning for Canton, Mississippi. And this is why Honda's Ridgeline isn't getting a reboot in Lincoln, Alabama, where they build it currently. All right, there's a good chance that Nissan could be building trucks for Honda out of this plant. But why stop there? How about Honda get in with a next-gen Passport that's actually body-on-frame, which is maybe co-developed alongside this next-gen Xterra. That would be fantastic. But these new products would increase the plant's output by more than 200,000 additional vehicles. Last year, they only made 211,000 vehicles there. I want to say it was at somewhere around 57% capacity. All right, production capacity. You want to be at over 80% production capacity to make money producing out of a plant. Nissan's only at 57%. If you brought all these body on frame trucks and SUVs being built there, and you're running at essentially 100% production, maybe even more of the production capacity. That's the dream for Nissan here. And when you have the government right now de-incentivizing EVs and also depenalizing companies for not, meeting fuel economy standards through the CAFE end of things, it's opening up the market to very inefficient vehicles, big vehicles that Americans typically like, though. And that's good for Nissan here. If they stick to this and get these vehicles out pumping as soon as possible, this could absolutely save Nissan if they do this the right way. A Nissan official also said the company is actively exploring ways to build more body-on-frame vehicles. No specifics can be shared at this time, says Brian Brockman of Nissan, but we are considering that enhancements might be possible within our current manufacturing arrangements as a starting point. I mean, these tariffs are forcing Nissan to rewrite the script. And with the recent laws by the government, it would absolutely benefit Nissan to have more body-on-frame vehicles, more trucks. I know they just killed the Titan, but if they can develop a next-gen Frontier with Honda / Ridgeline, whatever you want to call it, that would be great. And then Xterra and a Passport. And then you have a luxury variant as well. Maybe you would see luxury body on frame inside the Acura lineup. Okay, if Infinity's getting it, maybe Honda could get in with the Acura lineup as well. Now, this would cost Nissan hundreds of millions of dollars to build full-size SUVs in the United States. Yeah, but hey, if Honda wants to get in on it, that drops the cost significantly. There could be a production bottleneck here from suppliers because as the factories produce less and less vehicles in Canton, Mississippi, the production volume and also the sheer amount of suppliers has shrunk as well. And Nissan's stronger competitors have sucked up a lot of the open supplier capacity with their better marketability, says an official. There's actually some news here about the Xterra. Nissan's considering developing a body-on-frame based SUV inspired by the iconic Xterra, but it is supposed to be electrified. However, we know it wouldn't do well as a fully battery electric, in my opinion, unless they have some awesome technology that we don't know about yet. But the body-on-frame SUV would share the platform with the next-gen Frontier, reducing, of course, development costs, manufacturing costs, supply chain costs. Of course, there would be an Infinity variant of this Xterra as well. Since it is electrified, Nissan could do a couple things here. They could do e-Power hybrid, series hybrid, so the engine is just a generator. They also could do extended range EV here. In China, Nissan has an e-Rev pickup truck. I think it's a Frontier. I could be wrong. But it's nothing like the Frontier that we have stateside, of course. So if they have an extended range EV pickup truck in America, that's a mid-size, for example. No one else is doing it. I know Toyota's working on plug-in hybrid pickup truck, but that might not come till the end of the decade, and that's probably when this next-gen Frontier would come as well. One analyst on this article is saying that the SUV body-on-frame mid-size, so you look at like Bronco, Jeep, you look at the 4Runner, you look at the Land Cruiser, it's getting crowded, and they're worried that, or this analyst says, hey, there's only so much market. You're going to be playing hungry hippos, but here's the thing. If Nissan can come in with a nice V6 in here, yeah, its competition would be hurting. I think so. Nissan would have a huge advantage, and Honda, if Honda gets in on this again, have a huge advantage of having a V6 and also a plug-in hybrid or an e-Rev hybrid. If Nissan can pull this off before falling into more dire straits than they currently are, it could absolutely pull them into a very favorable position. And also, if Honda wants in on this, Nissan becomes an even a more valuable asset here. Nissan absolutely needs to do this. I think their survival depends on it, at least here in North America. Bring the Patrol, bring the Armada here, bring the Xterra back, And give one to Infiniti, give one to a Honda. Keep working on the Frontier. It's my favorite midsize pickup truck. Try to keep V6s in these models, or even better yet, bring back a V8. But I know that's probably far gone, because the twin turbo V6 actually in the Armada is really, really good. This is exciting stuff. Nissan is desperate. The tariffs are crushing them. They're already crushed because of a lack of competitive product. This is possibly the moonshot. This is their last chance here to become a strong company once again. And it rides on their expertise on body on frame, SUVs, and trucks. They're some of the best out there. Nissan, don't do Titan again unless Honda wants to get in on it, and then they can make something truly special. But Nissan getting in to any one of these categories by themselves, it's a risk that they need to take. But if Honda is there to also take some of the risk onto themselves, this could be a match made in heaven. We already know Nissan and Honda are working on next-gen software for EVs. There could be a merger again at some point with the new leadership under Nissan's Ivan Espinosa. So Nissan is far from dead. And this news that we got today could absolutely make them thrive once again. But time will tell. Thank you, guys. I'll see you in the comments. It's going to be fun to see what you have to say. Catch you in the next one. Have a great day. Peace.